It is my great pleasure to introduce Courtney Wright. Please welcome her to the podium.
Well, that was lovely. I was actually looking around to see who she was talking about. And here is Spiraling in Control. I figured I would use this for a marketing opportunity. Before I start, I do want to start by saying that I have had the privilege to be raised by an amazing woman, to be surrounded by amazing women, and it would be my honor to give this speech with an amazing woman standing next to me, Dr. Rios. She doesn't know I'm doing this, but I would love for you to come up and stand next to me while I give this speech, because you have been such an amazing mentor throughout this journey and have really taken a risk with me, and I'm so blessed to have you in my life. Dr. Rios. She's shy, everyone. Good afternoon, esteemed faculty, family, friends, and extraordinary graduates of 2025. It is my profound honor to stand before you today as we celebrate this incredible milestone. Today I want to share with you a story, and this story is titled Yara. Yara means birthing of a new soul. It also means baby butterfly. And just like a butterfly, each of us has undergone transformative journey. In the beginning, we're like caterpillars, full of potential, inching forward with big dreams and unseen strengths, unaware of how much change we will have to endure in order to truly transform. After graduating from Florida A&M University with a degree in education, also known as FAMU, also known as the #1 HBCU in all of the nation, I embraced the opportunity to teach in China, and for 3 years I thrived, pouring into young minds and slowly growing into the woman that I was meant to become. But often growth demands disruption. In early 2020, just as the school year released for Chinese New Year, everything shifted. The US Embassy sent out an urgent alert. COVID-19 was spreading, and they were going to charter one single flight to Wuhan to rescue over 1,000 US citizens. And during that time, my girl math was mathing really well, and I knew, with me living only 15 minutes outside of Shanghai, that the likelihood of the United States coming to rescue me and my 3 members of my family was slim to none. I realized on that day, and I understood the gravity of that situation, that I would have to actually purchase a flight to go home. So I did. We left China and landed in Miami just 2 days before they closed the border, leaving everything behind with the suitcase of only 2 weeks worth of our belongings. You see, leaving wasn't just a physical journey, it was a profound act of survival, a reminder of the wisdom that comes from being a caterpillar, sensing when it is time to move, to protect the growth at all costs. And that kind of sounds like the airplane that they sent. Even when the future is uncertain. In Miami, I returned to my roots, teaching by the day while working a second job at night. It was during that season of quiet perseverance that another door opened, and in February, I received my acceptance letter into my PhD program here at UC Santa Barbara. You see, sometimes being a caterpillar means trusting the unseen work that is happening within and around you, even when you cannot get to imagine the wings that are forming. When I arrived to Santa Barbara, life did not slow down, it only intensified. I was balancing it all, and yet everything was unraveling. Santa Barbara became my cocoon, not because I wanted it to, but because I needed it to. You see, a cocoon is not a place of comfort. It is a place of necessary stillness, a place where what once was dissolves to make room for what will be. In that cocoon, I quietly broke apart, shedding old versions of myself. I often say that Santa Barbara saw me spiral, but what looked like me spiraling out was really me spiraling in, returning to the deepest part of myself, rebuilding myself from the inside out. It was through those moments of me spiraling in control where I found a gentleman who saved my life. My therapist, Mario, who is here today. Mario, who I can say with confidence is one of the leading therapists in the nation, and UCSB is blessed to have him here. Mr. Barfield, thank you so much for everything that you have poured into me and all of the strategies that you have provided me to help me to be here today. There was one night in particular of me spiraling that I remember like it was yesterday. My daughter's Mandarin teacher had ended class early, and I must have dozed off while journaling, but my mommy ears were still on. And I can hear my daughter quietly open the room door. I listened as she turned off the lights in the living room, then the bathroom. She walked over to me and she noticed my journal was still on my lap. She gently closed it. I can hear her place it on the dresser. She turned off the bedroom light and slowly approached me. And then with the most gentle touch, she took my glasses off my face, kissed me on my forehead, and climbed in the bed and went to sleep. I laid there for a while as tears rolled down my face and I just began to cry. I cried because in that moment I realized something painful. The mother that I wanted to be so badly, I truly couldn't be for her, not with everything that I was struggling with on the inside. The next day, I called her father and I explained to him my challenges. And I told him that I couldn't do it anymore. He told me he was going to call me back. And when he did, he said, "Courtney, don't worry, I got it." 2 weeks later, my daughter moved, and that was the hardest decision of my life. But you see, that decision didn't mean that I failed. It meant that I had the ability to finally choose myself, to choose healing, to choose transformation. You see, the cocoon teaches us that there are seasons of breaking down when it isn't deemed weakness, but it is preparation. It is the scarred undoing that is required before something new emerges. Months later, I moved to Los Angeles and I continued therapy with Mario, and it was during those therapy sessions where I learned about meditation, grounding, the law of attraction, all while continuing my journaling practices. And one day, I remember when I was journaling, there was a voice that spoke to me so loud, and it said, "Courtney, shift your journaling over from first person to third person." So that day I did. Moving forward, instead of writing I am statements, I wrote in a way that spoke to the world. Those journal entries, years later, became the foundation for my memoir that I can so proudly stand here before you today to say that I had the ability to launch, which is called Spiraling in Control. And now here I stand, wings spread wide, not just as a graduate, but as a woman reborn. So to my fellow graduates, I know that you have had your own cocoons, seasons of stillness, of struggle, of solitude, times that felt like the world was moving on without you. Maybe you wondered if you would ever emerge, and yet here you are, proof that the cocoon is not the end, but it is just the beginning of something miraculous. You are the butterfly, and your journey wasn't linear. It was layered with scars that were necessary. Every step, every sacrifice, every sleepless night, every hard-fought yes was constructing your wings in silence. And the beauty of those wings is not how they shimmer in the light, but it's the way that they carry your story, your resilience, and your purpose. You see, the butterfly doesn't race to leave the cocoon. It transforms in perfect timing, trusting the process. And when it finally emerges, it doesn't just exist, it thrives. It fulfills its purpose by simply being what it was always meant to be. A testament of beauty, patience, struggle, and rebirth. So as you cross this stage today, remember, transformation takes time, it takes courage, but it is always worth it. And on the other side of the cocoon is a version equipped not just to succeed, but to survive, to lead, to serve, and to live with purpose. Let's honor who you were, let's embrace who you are, and let's boldly become who you are destined to be. I would be remiss if I did not take this opportunity to invite to the stage my daughter, my baby butterfly, my Yara Elise Scott. Congratulations, class of 2025. Spread your wings and soar. Thank you.